The Orc Guardian aimed his triadan at Kang Hansu, appearing ready to end his life. In response, Kang Hansu calmly requested permission to ask a question. Encouraged by the Orc Guardian, he inquired about the existence of legendary treasures within the ruins, particularly a powerful weapon. The Orc Guardian's response dashed his hopes, stating that only regular weapons were scattered across the training ground for recently graduated heroes. Kang Hansu's disappointment was evident as he wondered how he could possibly defeat the goddess with a mere beginner's weapon, leading him to express a sense of impending doom. In that very moment, the Orc Guardian decided that further conversation was unnecessary. He lunged forward with an attack, vowing to avenge the death of the 300,000 comrades that Kang Hansu had slain. To everyone's astonishment, Kang Hansu adeptly blocked and countered the Orc Guardian's assault, utilizing the same swordsmanship techniques. The Orc Guardian was left dumbfounded, questioning how Kang Hansu had managed to make such immense progress in just one day. Abruptly, the Orc Guardian observed Kang Hansu making his way toward the exit of the Orc Sanctuary. Fueled by determination, the Guardian launched a direct assault, resolute in his resolve to prevent Kang Hansu from escaping. However, this turned out to be a ruse cleverly orchestrated by Kang Hansu. He effortlessly evaded the attack and remarked that he had been contemplating the possibility of escaping the ruins since the previous day. With a swift motion of his leg, Kang Hansu propelled the Orc Guardian toward the sanctuary's exit. Almost magically, a portal materialized, through which the Orc Guardian was hurled, leaving him to cry out in despair. As the Orc Guardian remained trapped beyond the Orc Sanctuary, Kang Hansu's initial surprise gave way to a bright expression as the closing portal caught his attention. He was elated that his plan had successfully come to fruition. Motivated by his achievement, Kang Hansu set out towards the weapons the Orc Guardian had mentioned, guided by the outsider god who possessed knowledge of their whereabouts. Upon reaching the designated spot, Kang Hansu was met with an array of novice-level holy swords. Despite their basic nature, his excitement remained palpable as he playfully wielded one of the holy swords. It was at this point that the outsider god enlightened him, revealing that holy swords could only be wielded by heroes. In a peculiar turn of events, the holy sword Kang Hansu held suddenly grew heavy, frustrating him. Consequently, he chose to shatter the sword, much to the astonishment of the outsider god. Undeterred, Kang Hansu proceeded to break the remaining holy swords in succession. Just as he was about to destroy another, he noticed that it was remarkably lighter than its counterparts. The outsider god explained that this particular holy sword was flawed. Upon comprehending this, Kang Hansu systematically shattered the rest of the holy swords. With a keen sense of deduction, he concluded that the holy sword he still held couldn't possibly be defective, given that it was the only one left. This unexpected logic left the outsider god both stunned and intrigued by Kang Hansu's reasoning. Abruptly, their playful exchange was rudely interrupted as Kang Hansu received a system notification, alerting him to the acquisition of an E-rank curse named the Holy Sword. This unexpected development triggered a surge of fury within him, prompting an exasperated outcry. The scene swiftly shifts back to the temple, where hero Choi Gangmin bids farewell to a fellow hero before departing. As he exchanges parting words with her, he casually remarks about his weariness. Observing him, the gods who are monitoring the situation remind Choi Gangmin that he must fulfill his responsibilities despite his fatigue. Upon absorbing their advice, Choi Gangmin decides to explore the newly acquired blessing. As he opens his status window, a sense of excitement washes over him, driven by the multitude of blessings he has gained. Grinning with satisfaction, he acknowledges that given his remarkable growth rate, the upcoming Heroes Tournament would pose no challenge. He confidently anticipates that he will effortlessly demonstrate his worthiness as the main hero on that crucial day, ultimately securing the coveted Holy Sword. The scene shifts, revealing hero Jang Mian within her room. She reflects on her lifelong aspiration of being safeguarded by dashing knights. However, a sense of disbelief washes over her as she gazes upon her fellow classmates, whom she had beguiled into becoming her protectors. A sudden shift in her demeanor occurs as she seizes the hands of Simp A and Simp B. The moment is abruptly interrupted by Simp B's inquiry about her summoning them. In response, Jang Mian discloses a confidential piece of information. Whispers have been circulating that the temple intends to select 4 heroes with the highest scores to attend an academy. Simp B's reaction is one of annoyance, seemingly perturbed by the concept of a school existing in this fantastical realm. Determinedly, Jang Mian emphasizes her goal of gaining admission to the academy, where her true fantasy life would commence. This declaration prompts Simp B to question why she's sharing this information exclusively with them. Jang Mian's simple reply conveys her desire for all 4 of them to be chosen for the academy. Simp B, upon hearing this, implores her to promise that she won't abandon him should he assist her. He points out his observations of her interactions with Prince Alice, insinuating that she spends time with him without any cost. Upon hearing this, Kang Mian made a solemn pledge to Simp B, emphasizing that the gods who currently oversee their actions would serve as witnesses. She invoked the promise that if she were to ever betray them, she would grant them any wish they desired. In response, Simp A eagerly nudged Simp B aside, expressing his enthusiastic commitment to provide unwavering support. Similarly, Simp C, who was on his knees, fervently declared his full allegiance. Observing their resolute dedication, Simp B joined in, offering his complete support as well. Kang Mian was filled with excitement and delight as she expressed her gratitude to them for their unwavering solidarity. The scene shifts back to the Orc Sanctuary, where Kang Hansu is depicted kneeling, exuding an air of melancholy. His sorrow is evident as he contemplates the newly acquired curse, the Holy Sword, obtained simply by breaking a few holy swords. This curse imbues the holy swords around him with heightened strength, rendering them resistant to destruction or containment. As Kang Hansu comprehends the curse's effects, he also realizes that the beginner's sword he currently wields is similarly impacted, intensifying its durability and rendering it almost impervious to damage. This realization fills him with a sense of excitement. Motivated by his newfound understanding, Kang Hansu seizes the holy sword and determines to exit the Orc Sanctuary. However, upon reaching the exit, a perplexing thought consumes him: how to trigger the activation of the portal, akin to how he had propelled the Orc Guardian into it earlier. In an unexpected turn, his thoughts were abruptly shattered as the Orc Guardian came sprinting towards him, his aging body evident as he yelled Kang Hansu's name in a mixture of desperation and rage. As Kang Hansu laid eyes upon the Orc Guardian, a realization dawned upon him: the Orc Guardian ages when outside the ruins. Responding swiftly, Kang Hansu positioned himself to block the Orc Guardian's path, asserting that the situation had reversed, and he wouldn't permit him to re-enter the ruins. Fueled by fury, the Orc Guardian lunged forward in an aggressive assault against Kang Hansu. However, equipped with his new holy sword, whose potency was further amplified by the accompanying curse, Kang Hansu adeptly parried the attack. The Orc Guardian was forcefully propelled backward, one arm severed in the process. Unperturbed by the loss, the Orc Guardian initiated another attack, only to be met by a swifter and more precise counter from Kang Hansu. The exchange culminated with Kang Hansu decisively beheading the Orc Guardian, his words acknowledging the passage of time and the modest progress achieved over the course of the day. Following the decisive blow, the lifeless body and detached head of the Orc Guardian tumbled to the ground. As Kang Hansu prepared to shift his focus elsewhere, the outsider god interjected, cautioning him that the battle had yet to conclude. Startled, Kang Hansu redirected his attention toward the fallen Orc Guardian, only to witness a startling development: the severed head was making a determined effort to reattach itself to the body. Responding swiftly, Kang Hansu endeavored to crush the defiant head, but his attempt proved futile as the Orc Guardian's head slipped through his grasp, much to Kang Hansu's frustration. Contemplating his next move, Kang Hansu entertained the idea of hurling the Orc Guardian's head through the exit, similar to a previous encounter. However, as he was poised to act, the Orc Guardian, tears in his eyes, implored Kang Hansu with a heartfelt plea. He begged to be spared the fate of being cast outside, vowing his willingness to comply with any request. In reply, Kang Hansu raised a question about the Orc Guardian's abilities. The Orc Guardian promptly offered an explanation, stating that he had the power to relocate the city's entrance closer to the location of the Holy Sword for Kang Hansu's benefit. However, to accomplish this task, he required the one holding the Holy Sword to be a hero, a status he himself lacked. Kang Hansu responded by presenting a holy sword before the Orc Guardian, eliciting a stunned reaction. The Orc Guardian's disbelief was evident as he remarked that his suspicion had proven true: Kang Hansu was, indeed, a hero. The scene transitions, revealing the Orc Guardian kneeling and raising his hands. Kang Hansu urges him to reveal his status window, a request the Orc Guardian complies with. Upon inspecting the Orc Guardian's status window, Kang Hansu makes an intriguing discovery: the Orc Guardian possesses a rank A hero curse. Intrigued by this revelation, Kang Hansu inquires about how the Orc Guardian obtained such a curse. The Orc Guardian explains that he acquired it by killing a hero. Another noteworthy detail within the status window is a curse labeled Ruins. The Orc Guardian clarifies that this curse resembles a mission tailored for him, bestowing upon him immortality as long as he remains within the ruins. Piqued by this revelation, Kang Hansu probes further, asking about the nature of the mission. The Orc Guardian elaborates that the mission's purpose is to evaluate new heroes. Kang Hansu points out that the Orc Guardian's role isn't that of a guardian, prompting the Orc Guardian to clarify that while he isn't a guardian of humans, he serves as the guardian for his own kind, the orcs who safeguard their homestead. Despite this responsibility, the Orc Guardian laments his failure, tears streaming down his face. Upon this revelation, the Orc Guardian grants Kang Hansu permission to depart. In response, Kang Hansu recalls the Orc Guardian's prior assertion that he wouldn't allow him to leave even if it took a millennium. Reminded of his earlier stance, the Orc Guardian offers an apology, expressing that an immediate departure for Kang Hansu would be ideal. Resonating with the sentiment, Kang Hansu expresses his eagerness to leave promptly. He gestures toward the humans who have been captured by the orcs, indicating his intention to take them with him. The Orc Guardian agrees to this proposal. With a resolute shout, Kang Hansu addresses the humans, proclaiming that the time has come to return home. However, to his surprise, the majority of the captives decline, with only 3 individuals opting to join Kang Hansu. This discrepancy underscores the extent to which the others have grown accustomed to life within the Orc Sanctuary. Accompanied by the trio and Kang Hansu, they cautiously step into the portal. Just as Kang Hansu is poised to enter, memories of the goddess sending him through a portal resurface, a means by which he was sent into the wilderness instead of Earth. Contemplating the possibility of a similar occurrence, he finds himself wondering if he will be transported to an unfamiliar location once again. Filled with uncertainty, Kang Hansu offers a prayer to the outsider god, entreating protection. In response, the outsider god reassures him, asserting the safety of the portal. Just before stepping into the portal, Kang Hansu inquired of the Orc Guardian how he could return to the Orc Sanctuary if needed. The Orc Guardian explains that Kang Hansu need only communicate with the Holy Sword, serving as a conduit for interaction. Upon the Orc Guardian's command, the Holy Sword would generate a portal leading back to the sanctuary from wherever he was. With a sense of trust, Kang Hansu placed his fate in the Orc Guardian's hands and ventured through the portal. To his astonishment, upon emerging from the other side, he found himself in an enigmatic room. As he surveyed his surroundings, his alarm heightened upon spotting an array of weapons suspended on a shelf. Reacting swiftly, Kang Hansu spoke to the Holy Sword, entreating the Orc Guardian to activate a portal. Responding to his request, the Orc Guardian complied, and Kang Hansu swiftly urged the 3 accompanying humans to retreat through the portal, cautioning them about the perilous situation. Kang Hansu's gaze roamed the room, landing on the attire of a woman, signaling her noble status. This, combined with the presence of a high-tier sword on the wall, hinted at the room's inhabitant being far from ordinary. Turning to the outsider god, Kang Hansu questioned the earlier assurance of portal safety. The outsider god's response reiterated the portal's security, leaving Kang Hansu perturbed. Seeking further clarification, Kang Hansu inquired if prolonged presence in the room would be hazardous, receiving an excited confirmation from the outsider god, prompting a frustrated expression from Kang Hansu. Consequently, Kang Hansu resolved to make his way back to the Orc Sanctuary. His intentions were momentarily halted when he spotted his bag, leading him to ponder why it was present in the room. The scene shifts, presenting the heroes within the village that Kang Hansu had recently raided, where he saved Lady Celeblis from the clutches of the village chief. Princess Ethena, who is keeping a watchful eye on the heroes, emphasizes the importance of not disturbing the Saintess, highlighting that she is engrossed in vital tasks before their departure. The scene transitions once again, revealing the Saintess alongside 2 companions. They are guided by one of the village's elder, leading them to the underground lair where the village chief had confined Lady Celeblis. Upon reaching their destination, the Saintess becomes cognizant of the lack of useful information or items that could aid their investigation. In response, the elder promptly bows an apology. Unperturbed, the Saintess reassures the elder, urging him not to be fearful. She explains her decision to visit the village had been prompted by reports of a mysterious massacre. Turning her attention to the matter at hand, the Saintess inquires about the accuracy of the information regarding Lady Celeblis' imprisonment in this hidden location. The elder confirms the truth of the situation. The Saintess is taken aback, as Lady Celeblis, often referred to as the Guardian of the Flames, is renowned for her affinity with fire and her remarkable ability to raise powerful animals. Among these, her phoenix stands out, bestowing upon her the illustrious title of the Guardian of the Flame. In response, the Saintess fixed a menacing glare upon the elder and pointed out the illegality of kidnapping fairies. However, as Lady Celeblis herself has pardoned the village for the kidnapping, she has chosen not to intervene. Expressing her decision, the Saintess received the elder's gratitude. She then inquired about the individual responsible for freeing Lady Celeblis and orchestrating the massacre of those involved in the abduction. The Saintess explained her intention to reward this person. Regrettably, the elder suggested that the individual might have passed away. Unfazed, the Saintess met this statement with a menacing gaze, asserting that she merely sought information about the person's appearance. In response, the elder described the individual as having short black hair. The saintess then probed further, asking if the hair resembled that of the heroes who is with her. Nervously, the elder responded in the negative. The saintess proceeded to ask for the individual's name, but the elder admitted he was unaware of it. With this exchange concluded, the saintess instructed the elder to guide the heroes around the village. Complying with her request, the elder hurriedly departed, leaving the saintess behind. With the elder's departure, the saintess turned to her attendant, confidently stating that the person in question was undoubtedly Kang Han-soo. However, she found herself perplexed by one aspect: regardless of the number of blessings bestowed upon a hero, it seemed implausible that they could defeat even a level 1 Null. Puzzled, she pondered the identity of the god who had bestowed such remarkable power upon him, particularly since all the other gods were present at the temple, observing the heroes. In response to her attendant's query regarding the potential danger posed by the presence of the hero who saved Lady Celeblis and the mission hero being one and the same, the saintess brushed aside concerns. She reassured her attendant that she had control over the heroes, minimizing the immediate risk. The attendant then conveyed news of an information leak regarding the heroes tournament. The saintess acknowledged her awareness, revealing that she was feigning ignorance. She explained that this leak had spurred the heroes to put in considerable effort, further heightening her anticipation for the unfolding events. The scene shifts abruptly, presenting the heroes engaged in banner outdoors. As Choi Gangmin observes from the sidelines, he discerns that their behavior remains consistent with how it was back on Earth. Notably, their nonchalant demeanor towards the upcoming tournament indicates minimal competition for him. Lying back and adopting a relaxed stance, he notices an individual emerging from the forest and promptly alerts the others, urging them to summon Princess Ethna under the assumption that a Null might be approaching. However, the person who emerges isn't a Null. To the shock of everyone present, it's Oh Han-woo, appearing both bantered and wounded. Upon encountering his fellow classmates, Oh Han-woo is taken aback, while Choi Gangmin smirks knowingly, suggesting that Oh Han-woo's appearance is merely an act. Oh Han-woo counters by explaining that his condition reflects a true battle, one beyond their comprehension. He challenges Choi Gangmin, proposing a sparring session to settle matters. In response, Choi Gangmin accepts the challenge, unsheathing his sword. Meanwhile, Oh Han-woo summons a substantial blaze around himself, augmenting its intensity with his special blessing and a newly acquired one, Revenge. As the impending battle was poised to commence, Arya interjected herself between Choi Gangmin and Oh Han-woo, citing Oh Han-woo's severe injuries. Choi Gangmin responded with a smile, acknowledging Arya's point and asserting that Oh Han-woo needed to be fully healed to ensure a fair confrontation, preventing any future complaints should he lose. Oh Han-woo's irritation grew upon hearing this, feeling that Choi Gangmin was belittling him. In an unexpected turn, the saintess appeared on the scene and proceeded to administer healing to Oh Han-woo, aiming to level the playing field for their impending duel. Despite his wounds being mended, Oh Han-woo's frustration intensified as he interpreted their actions as condescension, disregarding the challenges he had confronted in the preceding days. The scene abruptly shifts, offering a glimpse into Oh Han-woo's recent experiences. Following the devastation of his team by his own classmates and their captive, Oh Han-woo witnesses Sara, Lusa, and Kana being taken away in tears. Determined to save them, he makes a resolute promise to himself. Amid this moment, a notification emerges, revealing a new blessing named Revenge. This blessing amplifies his strength in proportion to the power of his target for revenge. With this newfound power, Oh Han-woo designates Choi Gangmin as his target for revenge, acknowledging Choi Gangmin's superior strength compared to their other classmates. In the ensuing days, Oh Han-woo dedicates himself to hunting, his focus fixed on the task at hand. While engaged in his usual pursuit of slimes, he encounters an unexpected challenge. The slimes, which he had previously handled with ease, have grown stronger. An aggressive encounter ensues, resulting in Oh Han-woo being overpowered and incapacitated. This unexpected setback leaves him stunned, realizing that the curse he had obtained for hunting has impeded his ability to subdue slimes as he once did. Despite this unforeseen obstacle, Oh Han-woo resolves to persist, acknowledging it as the fate befitting the protagonist of this fantastical realm. Returning to the present, we find Oh Han-woo poised to launch an attack on Choi Gangmin. However, Choi Gangmin swiftly moves, striking Oh Han-woo with his sword. Oh Han-woo manages to partially block the blow using his fire magic, demonstrating his improved prowess. Witnessing this exchange, Choi Gangmin remarks that Oh Han-woo has indeed undergone significant growth in the past few days. Motivated by this observation, Choi Gangmin charges at Oh Han-woo, only to be taken aback when Oh Han-woo summons a massive fireball, aiming it at Choi Gangmin. Although Choi Gangmin narrowly evades the initial attack, he is caught off guard by a second fireball, much to his surprise. Oh Han-woo's smile widens as he believes he has gained the upper hand, but his confidence is short-lived. Choi Gangmin, utilizing his blessing, deftly evades the assault and counterattacks. MANHWA responds by launching a barrage of fire attacks, yet Choi Gangmin's armor proves impervious to the flames. In a decisive moment, Choi Gangmin raises his sword, preparing to deliver a finishing blow to MANHWA. However, MANHWA's special blessing intervenes, triggering a timely defense that prevents Choi Gangmin's strike. The resulting explosion propels both combatants away, rendering them unconscious. The intense clash creates a substantial crater on the ground. Observing the aftermath, the Saintess lets out a sigh and instructs her attendants to swiftly rectify the damage caused. The setting shifts, revealing Kang Hansu, who has managed to make his way back to the inn where he had lodged. He appears visibly perturbed, reminiscing about the recent incident in which he had vented his frustration on the Orc Guardian for transporting him to a perilous location upon returning to the Orc Sanctuary. Amidst his contemplation, his train of thought is abruptly disrupted by Kogmos, who greets him warmly. Kang Hansu, taken aback by Kogmos' presence, expresses his surprise, noting that he had expected Kogmos to flee. In response, Kogmos explains that he had indeed intended to depart the previous day, but his plans were thwarted by the arrival of a human. This individual's appearance compelled Kogmos to delay his departure, as he deemed it essential to avoid encountering this human at all costs. Upon learning this, Kang Hansu inquired if the individual in question was the Saintess. Kogmos promptly dismissed this possibility, asserting that he would have met a grim fate if it had been the Saintess. Kang Hansu's curiosity persisted as he asked for the person's identity. In response, Kogmos revealed that it was none other than Prince Alsus, the first heir to the throne of the Mastic Kingdom and the third mightiest knight in the realm. Initially unperturbed by this revelation, Kang Hansu's demeanor shifted when Kogmos disclosed that Prince Alsus desired an audience with him. This unexpected news left Kang Hansu visibly taken aback.